Joe Scarborough is not sure what this whole hubbub is about on the war on women. He says he knows a lot of women who like to have war declared on them. Not exactly what he said. We'll show you exactly what he said right now. Watch.
I understand that among a lot of Democrats, Planned Parenthood is just a sainted organization, but there are a lot of people out there that are scratching their heads going, okay, wait a second now. You're going after the top researcher and funder of breast cancer on the planet, just because they don't want to be associated with an organization that makes millions and millions of dollars giving abortions to Americans every year. I mean, I understand that among progressive women and a lot of independent women, that's a clear-cut case. I can tell you Planned Parenthood in my neighborhood is not seen as a noble organization.
So that's interesting. So in his neighborhood, the people that he hangs out with, they don't like Planned Parenthood, including the women. Okay, so well, then I'm sure that applies to the rest of the country, because everybody knows that Joe Scarborough's swanky neighborhood represents the country. Here's the interesting thing about the war on women. It isn't just theoretical or rhetorical. It is actually something that is in our laws. In fact, 1,100 laws have been proposed just in 2011 to restrict women's rights. Now, those are reproductive rights. Those are the kind of things that Joe Scarborough is talking about, but he knows women that are apparently ecstatic about having their reproductive rights restricted. By the way, 135 of them have already been enacted. So once again, I'm sure the women that Joe Scarborough knows think, yes, thank you so much for restricting my reproductive rights. I'm thrilled about that. What more rights of mine can you restrict? Well, Scott Walker has the answer for you, because this isn't just about reproductive rights. In Wisconsin, he just signed into law a repeal of equal pay for women. Fantastic! Okay. Now we're getting into economic issues as well. So this is what they think of women. Now, what the law would have done, the original law, allowed women to petition for equal pay for the same jobs. I don't want you to get misled. It's not like somebody saying, hey, you know, one person is a mechanic or a waitress, and another person is a lawyer or a doctor, and everybody demands the same pay. No, nobody's saying that. All they're saying is if you're doing the same job, if you're both lawyers, you should get paid the same amount. In fact, men get paid significantly more than women. And in fact, in Wisconsin, it's a little bit worse. Women, on average in the country, get paid 77 cents on the dollar for the same exact job as men do. Now, that's an enormous form of discrimination. In Wisconsin, it's worse. It's 75 cents on the dollar. So if you do the same exact job as a guy, he gets $1 and you get 75 cents for that job when you look at the overall salaries in proportion. So that seems to be massive discrimination. I can't imagine that even the people in Joe Scarborough's neighborhood, the women in his neighborhood, are like, yes, I want to get paid less. That would be so awesome. I got to know my place. Maybe they do think that way. I'm positive they are not representative of women overall. Now, the White House is doing a summit on women, and they bring up a number of good points as well that are not just related to reproductive rights or even equal pay. They say that, for example, if the Republican budget goes into place, we would have 1.8 million pregnant and postpartum women who would lose their benefits. So that's another enormous blow to women. 100,000 would lose their support from food. $2.7 billion would get cut from education, which then affects women disproportionately. One of the reasons that there is that more women are teachers, and 38,000 teacher jobs would be lost. And then Medicare also disproportionately affects women, because the cuts there would go 56% against women, because 56% of the recipients are women. Women live longer. The cuts on Social Security would hurt women more. You know, you might say, hey, listen, you know, those seem tangential. Maybe you think some of those are tangential, although the postpartum and pregnancy issues are obviously very, very central to women's issues. But then here's another point. According to the Affordable Care Act, women and men would be paying the same for insurance. Now, right now, did you know that women pay 130% more than men? Now, some might make an argument, well, they get pregnant, etc. I believe they get pregnant because of men as well. And I believe that those kids belong to the men and the women. So, you know, you can make any argument you like, but the facts are they get paid a quarter less on average, and they pay insurance 130% more than men do. Now, Democrats are trying to address this issue, whether it's the Lilly Ledbetter Act that President Obama passed at the beginning of his term, which is fair wages for women on a national level, whether it's fair wages on a state level like in Wisconsin, and also whether it's healthcare issues. And what do the Republicans do? They're waging a war to make sure that women do pay more for healthcare, they get paid less for their work, and their reproductive rights are taken away. Now, in any neighborhood, a fair assessment of that is that that is a war on women.